to HammerDown TV. It's the start of the race season, and we are very excited. We got two awesome guests here for this episode here. We got the lady in black, Miss Cassie Dingler-Still. She drives the 4C out of Newnan, Georgia. A lot around the Sonora Raceway and the West Georgia Speedway areas. And we're also going to have another guest on the show, the Tire on Fire out of LaGrange, Georgia, Mr. Todd Darda. He'll be joining us. As you see in the backdrop, we got his brand new Longhorn Vic Hill custom built race car, super late model. He's going to be doing a lot around the Sonora Raceway as well as a few area tracks that'll be coming up. But we're going to bring you to our first guest, Miss Cassie Dingler-Still, the lady in black. She has been very awesome the last couple of years. She's one of the lady drivers at the Sonora Raceway. Well, one of the big mysteries are we going to see the black 4C back on the speedway this year?
You will. I'm going to be at practice tomorrow at Sonora, so I'm ready. Try out the new surface.
Definitely. They got a brand new surface, and with you driving in the 4-cylinder class, our mini stock area, how much more is that going to probably change the driving style from that HammerDown stuff you had last year?
I think it's learning all over again from what I see and what I hear.
Oh, yeah, I know there's going to be a lot of steps you're going to have to take to get used to it. I know for practice, it ain't going to always be a fair scope because a lot of times the track's always wet and pretty hammered down, and with it being at night. So at least you'll get the feel of that stuff and see that gray stuff flying at you instead of that red clay all the time.
That is my goal.
Most certainly. Well, with that in mind, are we going to see you also over at the action track of Georgia, West Georgia Speedway, some this year as well?
You will. If they race, I will be there, and I do help promote some of their stuff.
Most certainly. I know last year you and Terry Thompson worked together on the Frostbite race as you raised for toys as well as the cure for cancer and stuff. What was some of the stuff that you helped raise at that event to contribute to Racing for a Cure?
Well, we did the toy drive. We helped over 70 children, so that was good, and we had actually a great turnout of toys this past year. And we actually had some leftovers. We did such a good job. And with cancer, we started our first cancer race at West Georgia Speedway with Paint the Track Pink. So it did real good.
Most certainly. I know I've had the privilege of calling two of those on the announcing end, and definitely the Frostbite, definitely a big turnout this year, one of the biggest car counts, biggest crowd counts. Great race, the big late model finish. Everybody was pretty on pins and needles about that one. I think that was a long decision to take to who actually won the race. But definitely, the cure for cancer has been one of the big main deals you've been focused on while you were racing over the past 2 years now. With the Paint the Track Pink and, of course, the Frostbite coming up in December, what are other stuff you're going to be having going on with that organization?
We'll be doing car shows, and over at Sonora, Maze is real good about doing 50-50s and stuff like that and letting us raise money for cancer. So we'll be doing all that different stuff. We're going to try to do Shriners this year and stuff like that. Oh,
certainly. What were some of the big reasons why you wanted to go into start this foundation, Racing for a Cure?
My grandmother, she had breast cancer, so that got it started, and then seeing all the kids and all that stuff, that really makes me want to do it.
Most certainly, and I know that there's a lot of people, just about in every family, cancer has affected them in some sort of way or fashion, and I can testify that with my grandfather passing away from colon cancer. So that's something I definitely appreciate that you're doing this to help bring awareness and to help raise money so we can finally find that cure to cure cancer.
Yeah.
But most certainly, I know you got a young Spritel on the way up, coming up to carry on the Steele legacy and the Dingler legacy as well. Can you give me a little insight on this new upcoming star here?
That's my daughter, and she's Madison. She's 7. She's going to start in go-karts. She just loves racing. So we can't wait to see her get out there.
Oh, yeah. Now, has she been going to the races all her life since, diaper days?
No, she hasn't been a diaper day racer, but she has since we started. My cousin Jay Connor. Okay. We went to watch him in the 20, and then he got us going, and ever since then I told James I'm not going to sit in the stands. I want to race. So since then, I've been filling my dream racing.
Yes, ma'am. That is awesome, and I've definitely been able to chronologize a lot of your time. You've had a lot of top fives in your race season.
I have had a few top fives.
Few top fives at West Georgia. You know, a lot of good top tens at Sonoya. Now, when are we gonna finally get the lady in black in victory lane? Now, that's the big question we're waiting on.
Well, everybody was saying this year was going to be my year, but now that they've changed it to the gumbo, I hope so.
Oh yeah, I know it. That gumbo's got a lot of us scratching our heads right now, trying to figure out which way it goes. Because in Georgia, that's just something totally different. It's not that red clay HammerDown stuff we used to. But definitely, we got some. You got some buddies that are helping you out with the racing deal as well, with Original Racing and them.
Original Racing, couldn't do it without them. I remember when we started in the Pinto, we couldn't find no tires nowhere. When we had the street tires, and they helped us out, and ever since then, they've been there for us.
Most certainly. I know you got a lot of different contributors, like your crew, one of your main crew chief, and I guess the money man behind the 4C racing crew, James Steele. Can you give a lot about the insight of the man that's trying to really help make your dream possible?
That's my husband, and I couldn't do it without him. And he does work long hours in the shop, trying to make sure it's there. And he never gets mad at me when he has to come home and redo everything. So I couldn't do it without him.
Definitely, that's awesome. I know James, he's also an avid drag racer too. I know he likes to hang around there with the Hog Mountain or Troop County Dragway. Now, have you ever had thoughts on going into drag racing?
I have. I actually have a lot of friends who do drag racing, the Duncan boys and all them, so they really want me to try it out. They keep telling me to leave the dirt alone, and I'm like, no. So.
That's definitely awesome. Well, if you do decide to go into the straight line world, you got a particular type of car or thing that you want to drive out there?
It would have to still be a Mustang.
It's going to be that Mustang. Ford, the Blue Oval. I know y'all love that.
Love the Mustang.
Most certainly. That is awesome. Awesome. Now, I know back to your daughter, what are some of the places y'all looking at taking her on her budding racing career?
Probably Coweta Racetrack in West Georgia over there. Do some so she gets the feel of it and learns it. Now I get the nerves of steel like they have when I'm out there. Seeing her get out there.
Definitely. I know that's your baby and everything,
Mm-hmm.
and I know you've been to West Georgia and seen some of the carnage that can happen, in just a split. But I know it's got to be the same thing for James when he sees you out on that track
Exactly.
too. Well, the hairs that he did have left, I'm probably sure they're pretty much gone at this point. But
You know.
most certainly, most certainly. Well, with that also in mind, with the 4-cylinder class that you're going to be running, do y'all have to put a lot of time in the shop to try to really get that thing ready every week, week in and
We
week out?
actually do. You wouldn't think so, and everybody always says, it's just 4-cylinder, but it takes a lot to make them go too.
Oh yeah, I know.
Not quite as much, but it's a job within itself. I always keep my pit crew going anyways.
Oh, sir, that's good. You got a great foundation, a lot of love, a lot of support. I know the Original Racing Group, they do a lot of good, and they have done a lot to try to keep your operation rolling. But, what are some of the stuff you do at the shop to get that 4-cylinder ready? Because I know a lot of people look at these things, and they know how much they have to do going through every inch. That's something y'all have to do a lot in the mini stock, too, go through just about every crevice and crevices in there.
Not quite as much as these guys do, but we do have to do the oil change every 2 weeks and simple stuff like that, make sure everything's ready to go, because we've had a lot of bad nights at the track, too, as you know. So.
Oh, yeah. Now, there's a lot of young female and a lot of young girls that look up to you, because every time I call out the lady in black out on the speedway, I always see a lot of the women and the young girls up there room. Go, Cassie. What are some of the advice you can give to some of those young ladies that would love to get the opportunity to do what you're doing?
That you can do anything you want to do. Just set your mind to it and do it.
Most certainly, most certainly. Is there some stuff that you have to do to get ready, get your mindset ready when you're about to strap in the car or anything?
Mindset, always pray. but definitely a mindset thing, getting out there with all them guys, and you know how it is. They'll tag you, and they don't want you to pass them. They don't want you to, so you got to be on your toes with them. They're a lot of good racers.
Most certainly. Now, you've been a lady driver in primarily a male-dominated sport. Do that cause anything for you, like kind of stick out, or that draw any unnecessary attention for you, or does it make you feel a
Sometimes.
little different?
It does. But they're all great. They work with me, and they tell me, hold your line, we'll get by you. They've always been good to me.
Oh, yeah. Now, I know some people have seen the graphics on that thing, and it's always sharp, the black and pink scheme going on. Who you having help do some of your wraps and your painting for your vehicle?
Corey Payton, he does all my graphic work and T-shirts and all that with Design Graphics. They do a great job, him and Pam over there.
Yeah, well, that's awesome. Is he also gonna rap Mad Mad, your daughter?
He
Her
will.
nickname Mad Mad, but
Yeah.
he gonna rap hers as well.
He will, and hers is going to be like mine, but it'll have the 4M. So
Definitely. Now, why from your number's 4C and her number is 4M? Where did the M come for the changeover?
Madison.
Madison.
So, yeah.
Definitely. So now I guess when people ask what does the C mean for 4C out of the 4C, they know it means for Cassie.
Yes, it'll just be our names.
Definitely. Now, did you have like parents or anything that raced in this sport as well, or family or cousin, or are you
Just
the
my
first?
cousin, Jay Connor. And like I said, I went and watched him, and then I was like, I don't want to sit up here and watch. I want to get out there and try it. So we got that old Pinto for me to run around in a couple times and give it a go.
Well, definitely. Well, that's awesome. You'll be one of the first women drivers in the sport I know that is actually passing it down to their daughter. So that's kind of a interesting deal there. So we're definitely glad to see that happening. I'm highly sure James, he's going to start losing the beard once she hits higher.
Oh, yeah.
So, he told me no. But yeah, so we definitely can see that. But with that in mind, we definitely appreciate you coming, Cassie. We definitely looking forward to having you back for another shooting here with HammerDown TV. Is there anybody out there that you want to thank, or anybody you want to list? Give them that quick plug in.
James Still, Denny Chosewood, Original Racing, and all my sponsors. I couldn't do it without them.
Most certainly. Well, there we go. We're going to take a quick break, and we're going to come back with HammerDown TV and have Mr. Todd, Darda, the Tire on Fire, back on next.
This is America. We're proud of our country, and we love our country music.
Now the race is on, and here comes
Stand by your man.
Kiss an angel good morning.
This is Legends 1370. We play the classics, the country music classics, on WFDR Legends 1370.
Rolling home.
All right, we're back with HammerDown TV. We've got our second guest here, Mr. Todd, Darda, the Tire on Fire, out of LaGrange, Georgia. As you see in the backdrop, we're here in his own shop. Got the beautiful, brand new Longhorn, Wrap by Wrap Factory, the Vic Hill up under the race hood. He's got Vic Hills, definitely support him on the shirt. But definitely, Todd, you got a big year for you. You're finally taking that big step into super late models this year.
Yeah, that's something I've always wanted to do if we ever was at the point we could do it. So I guess we kind of reached that point, so we're going to give it a shot anyway.
Oh, yeah. Now, what are some of the places that you're looking at the race at with the new super?
Oh, Lord. Sonoma definitely, till I can kind of figure out this new horsepower, new car. Then I want to kind of run some of maybe those Ray Cook races, kind of local, maybe North Georgia stuff, around this little area. And Phoenix City, of course, the big races and stuff down there. But I want to try to run, or at least make the show down there at the Lucas Oil event. That'd be pretty cool to make something like that for a few races, but I don't know. We'll see. Kind of figure out how quick we can get a hold of this stuff.
Oh, yeah. You've been driving ever since I know I was a kid, and you definitely got a lot of experience. You been in the limited category, that class, for about a good, 10 years or so, or
Yeah.
longer now?
A long time. We did did the crate stuff there for a couple of years, and then went back to the limited. So I kind of like that horsepower a little bit more, but yeah, I've been doing it probably about 15, 16 years, I guess, or more.
Oh yeah, definitely. With one of the big things that coming up Sonoya is that brand new gumbo clay they're putting out on the track, and that's something totally different, especially those in the eastern Alabama, western Georgia area that are used to running on these HammerDown tracks that are wide open all the time, and to bring in something that's going to go from super fast to super slick in the course of a whole night's of racing. How do you think you, with your veteran experience, those daytime races at the state and all that stuff, going to be able to play into the new surface at Sonoya?
I think I'll be okay. I mean, hopefully anyway. I'm definitely going to have to learn how to baby this, jumping into more horsepower. Now I'm going to have to learn how to baby it too. So, I don't know. It'll be an experience. Something like that, I guess it's more patience than it is getting after it hammered down on the floor. And but I don't know. I guess we'll see. Hopefully, it'll have some wide open racing when it's wet, and sticky still. But I think it's going to be one of the things where it changes a lot. Goes from fast to extremely slow.
Oh yeah, and that's something that we're all looking definitely forward to seeing, and I'm definitely excited. I know you're a little skeptical about it, how it's going to kind of work out.
Oh yeah, it'll be all right. Well, everybody's got a race on it, so it'll be new to everybody. So I think we'll adapt pretty good.
Most definitely. You're also the owner and proprietor of Darda Tire, located right down here in LaGrange, Georgia. What are some of the stuff y'all do out there, man?
Well, obviously we do tires and brakes, alignments, front end work stuff, ball joints, that kind of stuff. Kind of like automotive.
Okay, so basically, when people need to look up something, they know to call Todd Darda down there. Tire.
Yeah.
Darda Tire to hook them up on the deals there.
That's right.
Most certainly. I know you're also getting kind of into the passing the torch type of scenario coming up with your own son coming up into racing now. Definitely. Can you tell us a lot about what's going on with that?
Well, he's always wanted to race, and he's always been around it, so I think he'll adapt pretty good to it. I let him practice it last year, and he did pretty well. I mean, first time ever in a car, I was kind of impressed. But yeah, I mean, I'm gonna start him out, I guess, in the crate class, and hopefully I can get the track rented or whatever, and let him practice it for a couple times before I turn him loose to the wolves. But it'll still be probably a little while because he's into baseball and stuff like that, and so maybe I can get him some practice and then get him racing here soon. Oh
yeah, so we definitely know you got the GRT, the old white number 91, that's been wildly successful down in West Georgia and East Alabama and those tracks like that. So you're gonna finally take the old gal and pass it on down to the up and coming star here, right?
Yeah, I told him he's got to take care of her. We can't do her wrong. She's been good to us. So, yeah, I think he'll be fine. I mean, it's good. It's still a good car, so I think he'll do good and have fun with it.
Most certainly. Speaking of that car, we know that car has won you 53 races at Sonoya now. You're the winningest late model driver under the new promotional history since they started chronological.
Something like that. I'm not sure. I was thinking 40 something wins, but that car just would go around that track for whatever reason. I don't know.
Definitely, because you didn't get a lot of the local wins this past year, but you won all the big ones, and that's something that, you got young guys like Austin Horton and Joey Armistead, those young phenoms coming up and up there challenging you, but the one man that's been the veteran that's got the most laps been the man to walk out at the end of the endurance races for those big ones there.
Yeah.
So definitely, what has all been contributing a lot to those wins you done had over the last 2 or 3, 4 years now?
Oh, Lord. I don't know. I mean, I guess my driving style on that track particularly, but it didn't change a whole lot. I mean, I pretty much know and learned my car so good, I guess. I know pretty much when it starts blowing dust, I know exactly what to do make the car work in those conditions too. So I guess just keeping the car hooked up
Oh yeah.
is a big help on that.
Most certainly, man. Well, I know we talked about a little bit sooner. You talking about you're gonna hopefully hit maybe a few Ray Cook races, and of course, you know, right down here at our local track, Sonora Raceway, they got 4 or 5 big super races coming up right there around the house too.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to that, especially well, with this gumbo stuff. I mean, I don't know. I mean, was looking really excited to it, you know. But this gumbo stuff, I mean, maybe we can adapt to it and still be competitive when the big guys come, and maybe we can run with them.
Oh yeah, there's no doubt, and definitely hoping we don't scratch up this beautiful machine here before the big races coming up in the fall at East Alabama. Are you gonna actually pull double duty and maybe run crate or limited and super for the state nationals this year?
I doubt it. Super is a pretty big step, so I think I need to concentrate on that rather than trying to jump in this, jump in that, and I think I need to focus on that if I'm gonna try to make those shows. So.
Well, what's your favorite track that you really like to go and visit every time?
Well, Sonora, obviously, it's been good to me. We run good there. I love Phoenix City, and I mean, I like West Georgia too. You know, just it's a fun place to race at. But, I'd say those are my 3 favorite tracks, obviously.
Definitely. If you can win on all 3 of them, you know that they're their own beast in their own rights.
Oh yeah.
All 3 tracks. West Georgia's a little bit different than Sonoya, even though the setups are similar, but the driving style changes a lot in it too.
Oh yeah.
And stuff like that, and especially the new really configured East Alabama with them making a couple alterations to that speedway as well.
Yeah. It changes a lot. It used to stay pretty close to the same all night, but now, heck, I can be the fastest car there in practice, and come qualifying, I'm mid-pack. Come race time, I'm further back. Then, you know, you just got to stay on top of that track. It changes a lot quick.
Oh yeah, and definitely I've had the pleasure of also calling you at a lot of those events as well. And how much for you when you go to those type of events and you got all those big name drivers like your Ivan Lloyds and the Tyler Crowders and Jake Knowles that run in that division, the limited division normally you run at, how do you kind of get prepared to go against those guys? A very slick, often changing track, and also having that car ready.
Well, it's not really me against them. It's me against the track. That's always been my motto. I mean, I've got to be where I can go as fast as I can go on that track, depending on how it's changed, and no matter who's out there with me, you know, I've got to be as fast as I can be, whether there's all these big names or I'm out there by myself.
Oh yeah.
I just gotta. It's just between me and the track, basically.
But definitely, I know we're getting a little bit close to the sound of the bell here. But what can we expect from Todd Darda for 2016?
Well, I hope some wins. I'd like to win some of these, you know, bigger money events. Like I say, they've got some good paying stuff coming to Sonora this year, and I'd love to get into some of that money. It would be great, but that's kind of my plan, you know. Run some of that Ray Cook stuff, try to run some of these money races, and try to get some of this money back.
That's definitely for sure, man. I know a lot of time, you know, half of the battle is won in the shop.
Oh yeah.
Do you do a lot of shop time on? Well, you ain't really got a chance to play with this one just yet, but with your limited cars and the stuff you ran in the past, did you spend a lot of time getting them things ready just for a regular Saturday night show?
Oh yeah, it's a job outside of a job. I mean, you pretty much get off at 6 o'clock at your job, and then you come work on these things till 1, 2 in the morning, because you've got to put your time in, you know, with shocks, tires, checking suspension, checking front end geometry and stuff, nonstop, on top of regular maintenance like oil change and, you know, just that kind of stuff. But yeah, there's a lot of work involved, a lot of time, but I don't know. I mean, it's like if you're lazy, or myself, if you know those lazy weeks, I just don't feel like monkeying with it. I can go out there and Usually I'm not going to tote the checkered flag that week. So it's just a product of what you put in it. It's what you're going to get out of it.
Oh yeah, and And how much of a difference you think jumping from that limited to that super is going to change so much with it being almost a 250 horsepower difference between that limited and that super motor?
Throttle control, I think, it's going to be the biggest thing. On HammerDown racetracks, I don't know that it would be a huge difference because, you know, traction's traction. There's probably a little more speed there, I'm sure, but slick tracks, I think, is going to be the biggest issue. You know, having to control that much more horsepower.
Definitely. Well, we're coming up here at the end of the show. We definitely appreciate having you on, Todd, Darda. We're looking forward to having you come back on. We appreciate everyone coming on HammerDown TV, and we will definitely be coming back next week for our next two special guests that'll be joining the show. Y'all have a blessed day. Thank you.
Thank you.